hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and helping you figure out what you should be drinking or not drinking this weekend. You have tuned into an extra special episode. We're doing the final round of the first round of bourbon tasting.
Thank the Lord.
So this is officially 18 bottles of bourbon I've had to purchase over the last 3 months. The ABC people are starting to see me as a little interesting. They're like, for a homeless guy, you dress well.
They think you in a bar.
They do. It's a little wild. But yeah, we got some interesting bourbons here this week, and we have a crowded house, which I always like to see. We've got Troy.
Hello.
No, I'm just kidding. We have more than that. Of course, we can't add anything up or run a challenge without the abacus.
It's impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
It's impossible.
That's why we've got you here. We've got the Duke, but he doesn't have his mic in front of him, so we'll get to him shortly.
Hey, guys.
Nailed it.
Spot on, dude.
And Mike Jackson has decided to join us again. He drove all the way in yet again. That's a lot.
Back-to-back weeks.
Made the drive 2 weeks in a row.
Look at that.
Dedicated.
I'll tear down the fourth wall here. We just are running it back. But this time we won't talk as much about M4K, but I'm going to throw a little plug out there while we got it. There's still time for you to join our team. Still going to be another week before Shave Day, and I absolutely think you should join the team. It does more good for you to be a member than it does for you to not be a member. Just putting that out there. We'd rather have you on the team or join M4K on the whole.
We'll take the donations, but being a team member is way better and more fun.
And I'll hype it up next week. I'll start in on you should donate, but you still have time to join the team for m4krichmond.org. Everything we do here, all the money, 100% of the dollars that are donated go directly to the charities here in Richmond to help children in need, whether that's hungry children, children with cancer, children who've dealt with the horror of abuse, or those that are, did I already say hungry? Cancer? I don't know. Certainly, they could use your help.
Troubled youth.
If the kids are down bad, we got you.
That's exactly right, and that is our goal here, is to help the children of the Richmond metro area. And this is probably one of the easiest ways you can do it, because I don't know if you know this, but if you don't shave, you'll grow a mustache. That's how
Get out of town.
That's how that works. It's not that hard. Here's what you do. You grow a mustache, you text the people you're already going to text, and then you email those family members that you haven't been keeping in touch with enough. This gives you a reason for them to think, wow, that's a stand-up guy. And then there you go. I just saved your family. Look at that.
And then you raise a bunch of money for children.
Boom. That's called a win-win-win. And then you get a mustache. That's a minor loss.
People helping people.
But in the end, it's more wins than
Look,
else.
You want to know what you look like with a mustache, and now is your reason you can get away with it.
You always want to know.
Everyone wants to know what they look like with a mustache.
My dad's known since about 1970 what he looks like with a mustache.
Does he think it's awkward that you grow the ironic mustache for kids?
I don't think he thinks that I'm mocking him necessarily. Like, he supports, he donates every year.
Respect.
But I try and get him to do it. He's like, no, I'm not shaving. All right, well, I'll take the money.
Yeah, because he has to do the reverse mustache.
Yeah.
Well, that's something we haven't talked about. I've had a beard for I don't even know how long. When I first grew my beard, it was very rare. Now, most people I know have beards, and they don't want to shave into a mustache.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in my neighborhood that are like, have full, long beards and mustaches. They're like, I'd love to be on the team. I don't want to shave
I put in
it.
the time for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my old coworkers said that his wife...
That's called selfish.
Exactly.
One of my old coworkers says his wife has never seen him without a goatee. And we're like, every year, come on, man, you should grow. And he's like, no, I don't know what she would do, like, if I shaved one day.
A goatee? That's not even that good looking. Look, and I had a goatee before I had a beard, so I can say it. Just shave the goatee, grow a mustache, and then get rid of the goatee and have a beard.
Yeah, go all in.
I don't have a big beard, but most of the year I do have just a sort of a pretty light beard. I shave and walk downstairs. It might be 2 or 3 days before anybody notices. So,
Yeah.
you're not that important, guys.
No.
So, like, you're just not.
Isn't that the truth? They never notice. You're like, I made this drastic change. And like the guys come over here all the time on Sundays where they're like, anybody notice anything? I shaved my beard. And we're like, oh, yeah, I guess you did. Like, we don't notice. It's not that big, not that drastic of a change.
Yeah. We're not that important in most people's lives.
I've realized that. I've been trying to teach my kids that like they get worried. They're like, oh, they're talking about me. I'm like, the odds are they're not. And if you say something stupid, you're the only one who stays up at night thinking about it. No one can't fall asleep because they're laughing so hard because you did something stupid. Nobody cares.
And the odds are tomorrow will be someone else.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how news cycles
absolutely.
go.
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking for more examples, go to the news, and the next day it'll be different.
I noticed a lot of you guys have already started tasting your bourbons. I see a lot of neat bourbons going on around here. There's a giant bag of ice back there if you want to throw an ice cube in it. That's what I'm going to take a quick sip, and then I'm going to toss that ice cube
So
in there.
I've been listening to you guys doing these bourbon tastings, and my work did a mixology class, a virtual mixology class. It's sort of a fun
That's
event.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
like
that's
for
pretty
work.
It was pretty cool. They sent us all like a package, and we made the package I got was an old fashioned, and the bartender that actually did it was actually telling us that he didn't say it, but he was kind of like the concept of drinking things neat because you don't want to water it down is actually a sort of a misnomer. He's like they're actually like they're distilled and made to actually take on some water and take on some ice, and it actually releases more flavor. And so
Finally, somebody I can get behind.
Science.
Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting because I know people get caught up in that, and I don't want to ruin the bourbon.
Oh, there's a
ruin
lot
whatever,
of different
but, like,
camps out there where it's like,
Yeah.
if you don't have it in the right glass, you're wrecking it. It's like, come on, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's wild to me that there's so many people that are wrong out there in the world.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, my
No,
thing
that
is like,
adds up.
who cares how anyone drinks anything they're drinking? Like, drink it
It's my
the way you
preference,
want
like,
to
whatever,
drink it.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to take a $200 bottle and mix it with a Coke, it's your right.
Yeah.
You could do that for a lot less.
Right. Doesn't sound like a smart decision,
no.
but it's
Well,
your
I'm not your
it's your
financial
life.
advisor.
It's your,
Yeah,
li- it's your
exactly.
life.
Like
You
if
do whatever you want.
If you want to flex a $200 bourbon in a with a Diet Coke, then go for it. But
Nah,
You
don't
can-
do a Diet Coke.
don't
Do full flavor Coke.
Okay, yeah.
This is where I draw my line. This is where I draw my line. At least a Coke Zero. You've got to try it first.
Yeah.
See, I buy into this. It's advertising. It works. Hey, speaking of, we were raising money. I saw something the other day that I thought was like honest and awesome. I was walking outside of the grocery store over here, and there was this just beautiful violin, right?
We have 47 grocery stores within a mile from here, so you don't have to narrow that down.
I'm not trying to give everybody but so it's a Sunday morning, so I'm buying beer.
Right.
As is my right as a Virginian.
Right.
So
As the church dictates.
I hear this. I hear
Is there
this.
a grocery store you can't buy beer at on Sunday morning?
You used to not be able to buy
Yeah.
U-Crops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But-
it's not U-Crops, the grocery store that isn't around anymore.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, thanks for clearing that up.
Yes, I was at a Publix, which is a Florida grocery store, so they were selling OxyContin on Sundays too. So,
They have the special on meth on Saturdays? Is that
on
what that-
Saturdays.
Yeah.
Saturdays. Yeah. It's an interesting store. But so
When
I
you're on
hear
meth,
this-
it's hard to tell all the days apart, too.
they just
yeah.
blur together.
So
Snakes.
they really get away with that.
Snakes and days. They're
Sun
everywhere.
moon, sun moon, sun moon. I don't know.
But I heard this beautiful violin playing, and I'm a sucker for any time I see someone playing music. Like buskers get $1. That's just how I am. And so this guy's out there, and he's playing violin, and he's got one of those setups where he's got the speaker going, he's got a little bed of music underneath it, and he's jamming. Yeah, the amp. And so he's playing music, and so I'm like, oh, I want to go over there and check this guy out. And I walk over, and no joke, he's got his little girl there. Now he's dressed pretty well. And she's dressed well, and she's standing out there by the case, and they're collecting money. And I read his sign, and his sign says, "Having a hard time making ends meet. Need to raise money for internet access for the kids, like because school now involves so much internet access and all this stuff. So his sign wasn't like homeless need help.
Yeah.
He was like just having a hard time making the ends meet. Need to raise a little bit of money." for the kids to have what is now considered a basic necessity. And I just thought, damn, that is a really honest and a kind of a good lesson for the kid. I don't know. I kind of
honest.
Is
it honest?
The schools will give you hot spots. By the way.
Yes. And if you have smart devices, you obviously can afford your $29.99 internet.
I don't want to hear this because I thought to myself, here's what I thought. I thought, oh my gosh, here's an opportunity where I'm finally not being taken.
You know what he thought?
Sucker.
Some sucker's gonna totally see the sign and totally buy into how honest I am.
I just thought it was really interesting because he wasn't trying to look disheveled.
My thing is, if they have a talent, then good on them.
Yeah, and his daughter was really happy about it. You know, I walked over, I dropped a 5 in there. I was like, it sounds beautiful.
You did.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't have a single.
You don't walk around with singles. What are you, poor?
I rolled over and gave him a Yeti cooler.
That's right. I gave him a solo stove because I have so many of them.
You know what's hilarious? I walked up this evening and I saw I had the solo stove thing in my mind because I heard that episode this morning, and Brendan's got a fire pit right here beside the driveway.
It's not a solo stove.
It's a built-in paver fire pit.
No, there's a solo stove in that fire pit.
So you
not originally.
No, not originally. Originally, it was just a fire pit.
My head just exploded. I don't even know what to make of that.
Yeah, I built that myself and then put a $500 fire pit inside.
No, I heard you like fire pits. I'm gonna put a fire pit inside your fire pit.
Boom.
And then I'm gonna put, because the solo stove could get hot and radiate heat and make you warm. Let's prevent that. Let's put a bunch of stone around it.
Let's hide this beautiful engineered stainless steel
fire pits.
Yeah. You're so smart, Brendan.
I feel like you're mocking me.
No,
I'm gonna say
I would never.
Thank you.
No.
That's not what we do here.
Not at all.
No, buy all the solo
cool.
stoves.
No, thank you guys.
This is going great.
You guys are the best. Seriously.
Best friend.
And I really thought
solo stove you can't even see.
I didn't realize that it was inside the fire pit.
Well, the other one's the carry around. This one is now permanently inside of the fire pit. That's totally
But the fire pit was there first.
Ooh,
yeah,
spin-off podcast Inside the Fire Pit.
Inside the solo stove, inside the fire pit.
I'm just taking abuse. That's fine. I noticed the Duke ain't said a fucking word. He's got a solo stove.
He's got the big solo
He's
stove.
like, I am not going to say a word.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping in that.
Hey, Duke,
pile.
how many pavers do you have around your solo stove?
None. He's got literally none. He's too smart for that.
Yeah.
But that's not how I roll. I thought it was really interesting that this guy was being honest and that this was a necessity in today's standards, though, for his kids. That was my whole point. And he was playing
wrong.
beautiful music, and I thought, this is the kind of stuff I should support. Because you know what I don't like seeing? Just like homeless people panhandling, because I never know where that money's going to go. I thought he was being honest.
Well, now you know it's the Wi-Fi. So in an hour and a half, he should be able to wrap it up because it's $30 a month or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's because you can't download Inside the Pallet House without a little Wi-Fi. What now?
Oh, did he recognize you?
He was, Brendan. He said, where's Troy?
Yeah.
I was like, you suck. I took my $5 back.
Where's the audio dreamboat?
That's right.
Exactly. I don't see him
We
here.
didn't talk about it last episode. M4K is what brought Abacus into our world.
Yeah, am I the only people that have like recognized y'all out in public by
No, it happens all the
audio?
time.
Yeah, it happens daily at least.
All the time. All
I
the
don't
time.
know about that.
You're not the only person. Let's not put
Don't get your head inflated.
There's a couple other people.
Oh, I don't need to get my head inflated. That's what it is.
I'm looking out for you. I'm trying to help, dude. Can a man help? Help another man? Brothers in arms. Growing mustaches.
Community.
That's right.
People helping people.
That's right. And I'm just helping the guy with the violin standing outside of the Publix.
Yeah.
He can afford a violin, but he can't afford Wi-Fi.
And a dope-ass amp. But that's what I thought was so brilliant about it.
Yeah, he's smart. He outsmarted you.
Gotcha.
I don't believe he did.
You gave him $5, so he did.
How's that outsmarting?
He said he needed money for his Wi-Fi. He obviously can't afford Wi-Fi.
He didn't have
As Mike
$5
says,
before you showed up.
Schools give it to you. There's plenty of government facilities. You can go to a library. You can go to a lot of places for free Wi-Fi. He just decided to stand outside of Publix, which is a very nice. He's not standing outside the food line. He's standing outside the Publix.
You know where he was? He was positioned directly in between the brunch spot.
Yeah, brunch
and the Publix. So he was hitting it from both angles. Was I scammed? No, I wasn't scammed. No,
Pretty
I'm not
sure
gonna.
you're scammed.
No, you're a hero.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
You saved that guy's life.
Yeah.
I think bringing the kid was smart.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Dude, the Kroger up here, every time I go up there, which is, I try to avoid that whole parking lot, but like there's whole families out there now. Like there'll be a mom and a dad and a couple kids saying, hard luck, da-da-da-da-da-da, smiling and waving. And I don't want to be cynical, but I'm like, the whole rack of you guys are out here. Like, shouldn't the dad be at home with the kids? Like, what's the whole point? Like, shouldn't one of you be at home with the kids? Why does everybody need to be standing here? This is weird.
I think because our hearts bleed for the kids.
For sure.
It sucks to say. I've seen some people drive up in a newer car, park in a parking lot, and then go out and stand at a place and busk. And
that's
like
what breaks
2020's done
you hate
that.
seeing that, man. Like it's awful. But
Well, it's sad for the people that actually need it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the worst part. Is there are people out there that need it that would like to be able to help out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the economic, not to get too detailed on this, like the economics of it. Like, there's people like dying to hire people to do jobs now. So like, is that job easier than other jobs?
You see some news reports come out talk about how much some people do make standing in median, standing on curb corners, getting paid, and the numbers are shocking. Like how much they can make, but
if you think about it, if you make $100 cash unreported a day, as opposed to your minimum wage job that's taxed, you're coming out way ahead.
It can add up very quickly, and
some of those people make hundreds of dollars a day.
And you hate being, like I said, that cynical person that looks down upon it or doesn't believe in it, but there are people out there that are taking advantage of those opportunities to stand there and collect some cash.
People take advantage of every opportunity.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's
for sure.
Not to point out these people, but I mean, everybody takes advantage of what they
find a
can.
loophole.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. That's the point.
That's the nature of the game.
Yeah.
Are you guys having a hard time with the bourbon this week?
Yeah.
I didn't know we started.
No, like I literally just went through them.
I have a standout number one, and then the 2 and 3, I keep literally moving the cups back and forth.
I'm the other way. I've got a standout bottom, and I'm struggling with the top.
So
two.
neat didn't affect you, or
I didn't try neat because I
had
drink
a stronger preference neat, and now with an ice cube in each, I'm having a harder time.
Yeah, I had a preference neat, and it's really starting to muddy quickly.
Yeah.
Can I ruin this for you? You might have to run this back because neat and an ice cube are completely different.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can believe that.
completely different.
So you're saying that one? Have you gone so far as like a 1 drop to a 3?
Yes,
Oh, that's daggers.
Wow.
very much.
Well,
so.
now it makes this whole thing null and void.
No, it doesn't because I have my scores from the original
Start over.
mentally. So I'm like
start over, wipe
I'm
it
like,
clean.
Here's how they are, and then I'm seeing if it changes, and if there's like a wash, then I have to go back to the neat score
Okay.
to put it over the top. But I'm having
That won't be confusing for the advocates. He'll nail it down.
Well, I'll that's why I'm keeping track of the math.
Have we even said what we're having tonight?
Nope.
That'd be
No.
a good start. If you
Yeah.
could-
So
It's called bourbon. It's out of
so we've
Kentucky.
got our Bullet Bourbon, just your standard Frontier whiskey. Great bottle that comes in. One of the unique ones.
Yeah.
What's a Frontier whiskey?
I think they just call it Frontier because at one point in time, Kentucky was a frontier. I don't think that it necessarily has anything to do beyond that.
Roger.
You've got Russell's Reserve, which is a 10-year, 90 proof. Comes in a 750, straight out of Wild Turkey Distillery. And then we've got Knob Creek 9-year, which is a 100 proof. And it's a pretty classic with the little wax top. Very reminiscent of a Maker's.
Fancy.
Yeah. So
So
you got some
what-
classic ones. And you said price-wise?
Yeah, I know you're a stickler for the stupid price point thing. So what's the...
These are all in the 40.
Okay. So one bottle's little.
Well, that one was 20.
Okay.
But the big bottle was in
Was
the
40. Okay.
Yeah, so and so Bullet was a known commodity to me. That's actually like one of the ones I go to. I actually like the Bullet Rye a whole lot. So I'll buy that when I'm buying a rye.
But most people don't like the rye more than the standard, right?
No, and that's the funny thing. Like I actually buy the rye from that. I don't buy a lot of ryes, but like I buy Sagamore Spirit, which is out of Baltimore. I like that a lot. And then I buy the Bullet Rye. And then Knob Creek is also kind of a known commodity. And the Russell's is one that every time you read like a top 10 of like under a certain price point, well, it always shows up. So I felt like I had to at least try it.
So the interesting thing you have on these, the Knob Creek lists as a 9-year, Russell has a 10-year, Bullet doesn't specify anything. And you're finding that a lot of bourbons nowadays aren't specifying their age in part because so many people went out and bought bourbons over the years, they depleted stock of things, and they're having a hard time keeping up with it. Exactly. And a lot of brands are also rebranding where they were 10-year, they were an 8-year, whatever the deal is. They're pulling that from their labels and then coming back a year later with hey, here's a 10-year and it's $20 more. Because they recognize
son of a bitch.
They recognize that people are willing to pay a little bit more for an age statement bourbon. So it's nice to see something with the Russells with a 10-year. Bullet, you don't have any clue how old it is, probably somewhere between 4 and 6 years. But it's just interesting how some of these places are starting to rebrand this based on the demand that you're starting to get.
And I'm starting to see that demand is about to go through the roof on all of them.
Yeah.
Because today I went in the ABC store, and no joke, at least 25% of the shelf was barren. And the whole point of this was to find ones that are readily available under $60. And if we ran it back and started today, a couple of our winners weren't on the shelves, and that really disappointed.
It means we have great taste.
We do have great taste because it was a who's who of like what is one. I was like, oh, that's not there.
Do you think that so many people have listened that they've just like cleared all
great
the shelves
point, Lee.
in Central Virginia?
I agree.
Because that's what I would say has happened.
Well, the Abacus Bruce, he doesn't know shit about numbers yet again.
Our dozens of listeners really wiped out the place.
They just
tens of people.
They shop at my ABC store. These sons of bitches. Go to your own ABC store. Yeah, but no, I'm noticing that supply chain shortage is starting to impact just about everything. Hell, Lee, you sent something in this week, and just to tear down the wall, the Abacus and Lee are the same person.
What?
Because we keep vacillating between
Who
the two.
Who is this Lee?
The best part, I played in a golf tournament with the Abacus a few weeks ago.
Lee.
And Ely and I were there, and we kept calling him the Abacus, and we were playing with this other guy that doesn't know him as the Abacus.
Wait, he's not a listener?
He's not a listener. So he's one.
Why would you even talk to this guy?
Well, I didn't. I actually I would always say, Abacus, tell your friend that was a great shot. that was how I handled that. Classy.
Good call,
classy like. And then he downloaded it, and then I started making eye contact because that's how I roll.
That's how it works.
So he was like, at one point, he's like, why do they keep calling you the Abacus? Because at first he couldn't figure out why we were telling stories about the Abacus to Lee.
Yeah.
And then Lee was like responding, and he's like, what is happening? He's like, wait, why do you keep calling? So I got to explain to someone in his professional world that he can't add.
I was about to say, keep in mind, my professional world was engineering.
Yes.
A notoriously math-driven profession.
Well, you didn't work there anymore. I figured it was fine.
And Lee, the /Abacus, speaks in third person all the time, so it's really confusing.
I make it as difficult.
The Abacus has made an error.
You want to know a fun part too? We were talking the other day about ancient age bourbon, right?
Yes.
I called it a 10-year bourbon. It's no longer a 10-year bourbon. It's 10-star. They changed the 10-year.
What is this?
Really small print. They changed it to 10-star bourbon.
So it still says 10.
Mm-hmm.
Noticeable.
Sneaky son of a bitch.
Oh.
Yeah, about 2 years ago, they changed it, and that's kind of where.
Well, how many stars old are you?
32. I went down a rabbit hole seeing all of these different bourbon brands deciding to remove that age statement from their bottles as a way to either drive up demand when they do release a 12-year bourbon, an 18-year bourbon, whatever the deal is.
10 out of 10 people say, and then in tiny letters, you should not drink this awful drink.
Yeah.
Abacus keeps saying age statement, and it sounds like a super official term.
I know, it really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Like, what age statement?
I don't know. He sounds like a badass bourbon.
He's a bourbon guy.
connoisseur.
So that's what when on your label where this one, the Knob Creek talks
get
about
it.
a 9 here.
Oh, I know what you mean. It
Okay.
just sounds super.
It's
official.
not like
That's
you
what
said
they call it.
astringent
Yeah.
and blew Mike's head off.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this shit for a week.
It's been running through my mind for a week.
For how long? Like a week statement?
No.
Like about a
Yeah.
whole week?
Yeah,
you
what's
had to
that
think about it? It's got a fortnight statement. 4 score.
I've been thinking about
It's the
astringent
worst
for a
type
week.
of
Yes. I understand. It's difficult. I'm dropping these big words, which aren't that big.
Mr.
in my mind.
Vocab.
Yeah, and for the record, don't take my vocab advice because my 5th grader is seriously getting screwed. 'cause I'm trying to help her out.
She's still struggling with correspondence.
Yeah, well, it's not going well. Like my definitions,
The correspondence aren't going well. The vocabulary's not. Going
both, both. Our correspondence are falling apart because my words. I'm using the B definition of words apparently. Like I dig so deep.
When
I
we
look
Googled astringent, it was number 2 on
Yeah,
the list
yeah.
with what you were going for.
Well, that's how big his
Yes,
vocabulary
that's exactly
is.
right. See,
Yeah.
I use the B level of the words. It's weird. I like homonyms, but the lesser known. It's kind of how I roll.
Seems like an excellent way to communicate.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I'll never forget what a homonym means because of
Watch your step.
Austin Powers.
Oh, okay.
Remember, like when the fembots came out with guns, and they're like, not only are they a high caliber of women, but like he was talking about the caliber of their guns and their character.
Oh, I see.
And he's like, it's a homonym, and I just laughed so hard when he said homonym that it stuck forever. And now I get to use that word all the time.
Literary humor on a podcast. Yeah.
That's why they're here.
They love that stuff. They love it.
They really come for the education.
You hear when he dropped that dangling modifier? It's fantastic.
Killed it.
That guy's awesome. Puns are beneath him. Do you guys have any opinion on these bourbons? Like I'm having
I'm all set. I'm all set over here.
I can't feel my face.
In a shocking turn of events, I'm all set over here.
Really?
Mhm.
I'm set.
I was surprised.
Are we going to score them now?
Were you surprised? I was surprised.
You know who I'm really interested to see where the Abacus landed because
He keeps
pouring again.
more
no,
stuff.
because that's how much of a hard time he's having.
Yeah.
He's-
I have my number 1. That's locked in.
You know that's not why.
He
has fucked it up 4 times already.
Yo, I wrote the
There's
names
Knob Creek
out
in my Russell's
and
cup.
I poured them so wrong. No,
My A cup that is next to the 14 cup. Which one was that again?
I should just drink it out of the bottle to be
Next to the
safe.
Star Cup.
one of them's got Squid Game numbers on it. I don't fucking know what this shit is.
A triangle, a square, and a circle.
That adds up.
That's how I do math.
I like to keep myself on my toes.
You know what's really weird, man? And not to just, but my bullet has changed dramatically throughout the whole tasting. Like it's gone up and down and up and down. Bullet seems to have the most, it's
Really?
impacted the most as the water goes in and comes out. It's the one that has really kind of run the whole spectrum for me. Whereas the other two continue to live in their same spot. See, I'm not telling you anything beyond.
I see what you're saying.
But right? Did you notice that? Did Bullet stay the same or?
Yeah, bullets stay the same for me. Like
For me, it stayed the same.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not
So
much
the
harder
opposite
time
of
with-
you.
It did not
Watch how
move. It
time
did
will
not
go with
move
it.
for me. So shockingly, it did
No,
not.
but like its flavor changed for me most dramatically between neat and cold.
Oh,
or-
I'm sorry.
or
Yeah,
iced.
yeah. I did not
was-
do that experiment.
Oh, you just drank them neat the whole time.
No, I'm a nice guy, so I wanted to be able to gauge it against like how I typically drink bourbon with ice, so I'd like to rate it against.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. That's why my final scores will always be based on ice.
Well,
Mike, you seem
the
to have
second
an-
pour figured it out for me. I'm good to go now.
It came together clean.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start with Mike. I would love to get your scores because you seem the most confident.
Yeah,
Are you taking these down, Troy? Is that what's
Yeah, I'm
happening over
writing
there?
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm happy to go ahead. I would like to consider myself a bourbon drinker. Not as
So classy.
not as classy as Lee/Abacus over
I mean,
here.
you don't know what an age statement is?
Well, yeah. I took a tour of Kentucky a few years ago. It was an awesome experience. Got to drink a lot of bourbon, and enjoy it. try to get myself out of beer season because the waistline does not.
Yeah.
lend
Yeah.
itself
It
well to
appreciates
it.
the bourbons and the spirits.
It
better.
does. The wife doesn't appreciate the bourbons as much, but
Yeah.
I was a
In
little
moderation.
You're too
Yeah.
funny,
A little
too funny and
sloppy.
handsome after that.
super sexy
gram
after 2 bourbons. So I had 2 of these prior. So the Bullet and the Knob Creek are a well-worn path for me.
So, Mike, before you score these, just
Yeah.
know, in case you forgot, and for the listeners, this is golf score. Lowest score wins. So your first place bourbon is number 1, second place 2, third place 3.
All right, Troy's telling me to get on with it.
No.
So-
No,
There's
just
always
clarification.
confusion.
No, I appreciate it. What was surprising to me is I had never had the Russells before, and that actually netted out as my number 1. And I have like no opinion necessarily of. I was just surprised because I have never actually heard of it. Brendan had mentioned that it was kind of like a underrated bourbon, but super smooth, great taste. I just liked everything about it. The Knob Creek netted out really close second, and I felt good about it. Me and my brother, this is one of our go-tos, so maybe a little nostalgia associated with that. But what really surprised me was the Bullet coming in last with number 3. Another favorite.
Because that's a proven commodity. A Bullet is something
It is.
you like. Oh,
is.
I'll take the Bullet. Like literally, if they go, "Do you want rail?" Oftentimes you'll just go, "No, I want the Bullet." You
If
know?
I'm at the bar and they're like, "Do you want Knob Creek or you want Bullet?" I'd be like, "Give me the Bullet."
Bullet has
Yeah.
a name.
It does.
Like, you know, like,
It does.
You just would go Bullet.
Yeah, my brother and I often oscillate between those two, so that's again, it's pretty well worn for me. So I expect, and I usually prefer the Bullet, but Bullet had almost like a Fireball taste to it to me after the other ones. Like it had a
That's
little more
funny.
Spicy.
little more heat on the back end, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just was really stark to the other two. So I really spent a lot of time trying to battle out the other two. But Bullet shook out last for me.
Wow.
Which
Wow.
I did. Which I
So
did
you
not.
went-
I did not expect. I actually didn't. When we looked at the labels, I was like, "Bullet's gonna win,"
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be debating on the other two.
Well, and that's what I know. Lee going in was like, "Bullet is the king."
Yeah.
So it'll be. And I'm interested to hear his because you had the same initial
Yeah.
reaction,
Mhm.
and I think I kind of did as well going in. But
Mm.
the Russells was the weird one. So for you went Russell,
Russell's,
Knob,
Bullet.
Bullet. Okay.
Who are we going to next?
You felt pretty confident about yours, right, Troy?
Well, I'll go last
Okay.
because I'm documenting over here.
I can happily go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
For me, I've had all 3 of these. I like all 3 of these. These are very, very difficult to discern between the two, to separate them out.
Freudian slip.
There
One of them sucked.
There was 3 of them.
I struggled initially.
Yeah. What are the odds?
when I did?
I've never had 4 bourbons at once, so I'm very. All right, Abacus, slow it down. Just tell us your number 1. We'll take it from there.
Piece by piece. I'll help you through.
This one's one.
Well, hold your hand.
No, I
Did you see where there was one set of footprints? That's where
what
we
Mike
carried you.
me. I'd rather Graham carry me.
I went to Virginia Tech. I went to Virginia Tech E-School, so I can help you out with that.
Oh, Graham carrying you.
Can you imagine?
What a sight.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, I don't want to see him sweat.
Oh shit! All right. No, I've had all 3 of these. I like all of them. I came in with a preconception of what I was gonna like better, and Bullet for me was still number 1.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
And I don't know whether it's because it's super familiar, it's comfortable. I didn't get any of that kind of spice, that cinnamon, that fireball that you mentioned, Mike, but it does have what I want a bourbon to taste like, kind of flavor. For me, Russell was number 2, which actually started out as my bottom when I had them neat. I could not stand that flavor. The moment I threw an ice cube into it, let it sit for a couple seconds, had it then, it really changed the flavor, made it a whole lot more mellow, opened it up. All the flavors that you want to come out really came out there.
So Knob was your turd.
And then Knob Creek was my 3rd place, yeah.
I wouldn't say turd. I mean,
Well, third.
Honestly,
Third.
this
Sorry.
was
I mispronounced
of
it.
the ones
Yeah.
of the ones that
Fancy.
First, second, third.
the ones that I've been a part of. This was the hardest one that I've had.
Yeah, this is
It's very
exceptionally
challenging,
difficult.
Very similar taste profiles, very similar just flavors that you're left with in your mouth at the end. This was very challenging, and it's a shame that they're all run together, but it is what it is.
Duke.
Well, we need to run this whole thing back because
I want you to give your neat.
yeah, my
and
neat.
your-
It's crazy because my neat, honestly, is I don't like Russell at all.
Okay.
And
But-
I'm 1 and 2 on the. It's probably I'm a bullet guy. I like the bullet in the Knob Creek, but once you put an ice cube in, Russell just like
Shot
I think
up.
it's my number one now.
So we're gonna go with your.
Russell being the
Okay.
top, and then Knob Creek, and then Bullet at the end. It just really changed the profile of the bourbon.
I knew I liked the Duke.
Adding
Keep in mind, this is a man who used month-old mayonnaise.
Yeah.
I mean, if I went to
Damn
a
it, he's
bar,
right.
Considering who you're
Bullet.
lumping yourself in.
You're a
Damn
bullet
it.
guy.
yeah, I'm a Bullet guy. This is heartbreaking for me.
Oh wow.
Oh,
So
this
you know
is-
this is truth. This is fact.
Oh yeah, you never want to crap on. This is the moment in time like when we did the light lager challenge, and all of a sudden I was like, hold on, Coors Light's bad.
Yeah.
Like it was soul crushing.
But very different though, neat versus an ice cube. The flavor.
So you're telling me now you'll go Russell when you're out?
with an ice cube? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was hard because it was Bullet and Knob Creek early on. Knob Creek is a sweeter bourbon. It has a little sweetness to it, so it just depends
Very
what y'all
oaky.
like. Yeah, I mean,
so that's
just-
funny. All right, so we have his
We
score
do.
because I want to piggyback
The
right
Duke,
off of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Duke and Mike have the exact same score right now.
It's interesting. So here's how this went down in my world. I was all in on Bullet. Bullet's 3. I didn't.
Whoa.
When it was all said and done, it just. Now, granted, because I see Abacus, you're looking at me.
Abacus fucked up the numbers again.
No, because we are splitting hairs here, right? We're splitting
Oh,
hairs.
for sure.
But when I tasted it neat, Bullet came in third. When I tasted it with ice, Bullet came in third. It broke my heart.
Wow.
I had the same kind of reaction as I was like, ew, I really like this. But now it does make me feel better about my affinity for Bullet Rye. Because now I can definitively, without knowing where it really stands in the rye spectrum, I'd be like, oh, I prefer the rye.
The High West rye I recommend if you want to try a little different rye.
High West?
Is that right?
Oh, the
Yeah,
Duke's giving a
Utah.
thumbs up.
yeah.
over
High
there.
West is out of Utah. It's a
Out of
very,
Utah.
very good
They make some
bourbon.
good shit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm willing to try that. So
No more bourbon tasting. Jeez.
the Russell and the Knob Creek, dude, that was a dog fight on my senses. So when I had it neat, I was like, the Russells got it all day. When I put an ice cube in, all of a sudden the sweetness, the caramel in particular of the Knob Creek started to rise up, and I really liked that caramel flavor. Whereas all of a sudden the Russell started to lose a little of its sweetness and end up with just a little something that just wasn't quite as good, just a little off compared to it. Again, I am splitting hairs. So I went back and tried them again, and then even neat, I started to taste a little of that difference. So for me, it goes Bullet third, Russell second, and Knob Creek 1.
Wow, that's
the
the
first,
first
yeah.
Knob Creek number 1. That's the first out of the
No, I'm
four
not
of you.
saying I'm right. I'm just saying
I
that's
know.
what I
This one-
tasted.
I think this one is such an interesting challenge. Like
This one's gonna be close because
Like I just went back and tried the Russell against the Knob Creek again, this time with an ice cube, like because I'm still drinking, and even there, it's just that hint of sweetness, just keeps the Knob Creek just a hair above the Russell. The Russell's not bad; it's really really good. But
So I didn't try any of mine neat. I threw all of them on ice and I drank all 3 of them immediately. The Bullet was number 1 with a Bullet from the jump.
snap! This is gonna be a weird
And then
score.
The Knob Creek and the Russell, I literally swapped cups 6 times. I was like, this one's second, this one's third. Oh wait, this one's second, this one's third.
This is going to be the least scientific winner we've got. Like, this one is splitting hairs.
Yeah.
So, no,
Whichever one of
this
these moves on doesn't deserve it.
No, I think you're gonna be happy with this. So I'm going Bullet 1, Russell 2, Knob Creek 3.
So do we get a definitive winner? Because we need a winner.
We will because the Bullet and the Knob Creek,
They just traded blows.
they were duking out. There's a lot of firsts and thirds between there. I'm adding it up. I'm guessing the Russell got a lot of 1 and 2s here. So I'm thinking Russell's going to be the number 1.
I mean, that's the thing. Russell had more first and second place, whereas Bullet was either your last place or your first place.
Russell,
and that's it.
Russell has no third places.
Yeah.
and that will win the day.
Yeah.
Ironically, Bullet and Knob Creek tied for second.
At what? So 11?
So Russell went 1, 2, 1, 2, 2 with an 8 total. Bullet went 3, 1, 3, 3, 1. So you have 3 last places and 2 first places for an 11. And then Knob Creek went 2, 3, 2, 1, 3 for an 11.
Okay, this is an abacus wet dream because nothing adds up.
No, it totally adds up. The
So-
Russell's the winner.
So what was the final score for Russell?
8.
Clear winner.
Yeah.
I mean, like so when it's all said and done,
No third places.
3 points.
Yeah.
Difference.
Yeah.
11, 11, 3, 8.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Russell.
You figured it out.
Who had Russell? No one had Russell going number 1. No one had Russell winning.
Not going into it, no.
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 I mean, neat. I didn't even like the Russell.
I was the same way.
Once
the
out of
first
Ice
sip I
Cube,
had-
boom.
Yeah,
Well, now I need to have a little more Russell just to get familiar with
I'll
it.
help you out with that.
No, I've got plenty. No, there was a point.
You got nowhere to go.
No. Here's
Yeah, you
here's
don't
the
have to go.
here's
Got
the
nowhere to go.
here's the
Where are
truth.
you going?
There was a point
Nowhere.
where I did sip back to back to back, and the third sip hit my mouth, and that moment when you take a shot that you shouldn't have taken,
Yeah.
and it
Regurgitate
sits
a
in
little
your
bit.
mouth and you can't get it down.
That's every shot I've ever taken.
Okay, no, yeah, no, I had that. So like I went shot, and I went pause, and like I backed away. Whatever y'all talked about was lost on me because I was like, don't throw up in the cup. It's not good for the show.
Oh, I've got such a bad story. Friend of a friend's ex-girlfriend at a bar.
I like
I
where
need
this
a
is
got
going.
I need a
girlfriend
diagram.
that looks like a boyfriend. that you used in
Took a birthday
February
shot
of
that somebody
last year.
bought for at a bar. Took the shot, held it for a second, puked it back into the shot glass, handed it back to the bartender and said, "No, thank you."
Oh,
Walked away.
I'm impressed that she only. Well, she
Yeah.
didn't really puke. She
That
just
is a-
spit it back in
that's a
because if she puked,
Small.
there would have
vomit.
been more.
Yeah,
You're not puking.
in the mic if you're gonna talk.
It sounds
dude.
like a grill fart.
Oh yeah, probably or liquid cocaine.
I've never had liquid cocaine. You know what's in that?
I forgot, but I know when I was 21, liquid cocaine and gorilla farts were like what you bought for your friends that you hated.
3 Wise Men too.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad too.
It's always
I
a
went
I've never
to,
had any of them.
I went to the
cement mixer.
Florida Georgia game a few years. Well, many.
Thought you
many
were gonna say
years
Florida
ago.
Georgia Line concert.
Yeah,
I was
that's what he
like,
meant to say.
Of course you did.
Totally different.
Then he tried to make it cool. I mean, game.
Game, not the concert.
The cocktail party. And,
Biggest
Yeah.
cocktail party in the world.
Yeah, it used to be.
World's
Used to
largest
be.
tailgate.
Yeah, it was a college football situation.
Did something beat it out?
No, PC culture.
Yeah, PC culture.
Oh, you
cocktail
can't
party.
call it that
We
anymore?
moved
Yeah, you
calling
can't
it
do
the
it.
cocktail party. Now it's
What do
the
you
world's
have to-
largest outdoor tailgate.
Yeah, it's.
Because
Hold on,
cocktails.
cocktails offensive?
Boo. Wow.
Anyway, you guys
No
are
comment.
ruining the story.
Oh,
I
have that. I don't know where the hell it is, but
Wait,
Pat just walked in.
the story.
there it is. There it is.
Anyway, you guys are ruining the story.
I had no idea.
Thanks,
Cocktail
Pat.
was
Are you,
offensive.
Appreciate it,
Sounds
Pat.
like that.
Me and my buddy got in a shot war with
A shot war.
another table.
Do not watch.
Guys we knew, and they would send shots over to us, and we'd send shots over there.
I
and it was
love
like-
a shot war.
And we would dream up the shittiest thing.
Yeah.
It was really bad because there's 4 of them and 2 of us
Oh,
creative.
you're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're outnumbered. Well,
Behind enemy lines.
yeah, I did okay. My buddy not so okay. And later that night, we all got back to like the hotel where we were staying at, and they were cackling at us, and we were like, "What's so goddamn funny?" And they were like, we never took those shots. We just pretended and told the waitress to send them back to you. And we're like, oh, shit.
We done fucked up.
We got had.
Did they at least pay for them?
Money. I don't know.
Money.
I don't know.
Believe me when I say math is hard.
Shots are the worst,
Yes.
dude.
I don't know. I don't know what happened that weekend.
Why anyone does shots is beyond me.
It is brutal.
I'm on your side, Troy.
I will sip a liquor all day long. I'll drink a mixed drink, but shots, every bad thing
Oh yeah,
starts with shots.
yeah.
No,
My
you
20
catch me at the right time. I'll buy you a tequila shot. It'll
my
happen.
21st.
No, I get it. Like I've taken many a shot, and there's a time and a place, but usually it's wrong.
The time and the place is now and
It
always.
usually ends poorly.
Drinking is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, and you know what's sprinting? The Usain Bolt of shots.
Yeah, and you just don't do it.
No, you don't do it. It's a bad situation because it
You
changes
bow out.
everything. It's like shifting gears. Like it's a whole different level.
Right.
You're a shot guy. I see. Look at his face.
Yeah, look how happy that
excited
is.
he
He's like,
is. You know,
Troy
what
got
I mean?
shots right now.
Yeah, because it's still young.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
like-
he is young.
He
Man.
literally
You
just
got
started.
Casamigos around
He's
here
definitely
somewhere?
young.
He literally just started putting a condom on. He's like, oh, I'm getting excited.
All us old guys are like, no.
Drinking
no.
bourbon,
chance.
drinking bourbon out of solo cups. Definitely
Classic.
way better.
Yeah.
That is the sign of youth when you're like, dude, Jaeger.
No.
Hell yeah.
I still don't fuck with that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
now,
now
we
he-
found
now
your
he-
If I'm
vibe.
gonna do a
now
shot,
he's-
it's gonna be tequila. It's gonna be chilled. And that's how I roll.
We're talking about flavor now, not decisions.
Yeah, my wife still thinks she's young because I know she'll do that all the time. She'll be like,
What's she,
"Fuck yeah,
24,
shots."
25?
26. She's getting old.
Oh, okay.
She's getting old. But she'll take the shot. She loves to take the shots. And every time I see her take a shot, I'm like,
Oh, that's not
Just
good.
have her call me. I'll
I
do
know your
shots
wife,
with
and that's not good.
no, because there's and I'm not throwing stones because I'm a nightmare on shots too. Like
For sure.
there's a point where like
she takes a shot, you break a scrunchie out of your back pocket, and you're like, I'm ready. Put it on your hand.
she's not much of a no. She doesn't like puke. It's just like she changes with shots. There's a
We all
switch.
change.
We
Yeah,
all
for
do.
sure.
Yeah, but we all have our level, right? I go to charming and handsome.
Sorry.
Do you though?
No,
Well,
so-
you're a fun drunk.
no. My wife says every time you take shots, you think you're funny and handsome because like my chest puffs up. I'm like, ha ha, and she's like, but the reality is, the outside world, your left eye is closed. You're not making sense, and you're the only one laughing at your jokes.
What does she think she is when she's taking shots?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, she thinks that when she wakes up.
Well, she
at
is.
5
Yeah,
in
but
the
now
morning.
she's more
Extra correct.
Yeah, she's more correct.
The most
And
correct person there is.
whoever has to get mowed down on her line to correct.
You.
Mostly
Starting,
me.
yeah, starting with
Mostly
you.
me, yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm usually the first one standing there. It's like, da-doom. I'm the speed bump
Yeah.
on the way to the
On the
bridge of Butler.
Well, there's no one. There's no one she can't mow down. I mean, she hasn't met something she can't.
She's ruthless.
She's
cut
tough,
down.
dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's tough. She's tough.
Interestingly enough, Brendan loves a breakfast shot.
Yeah, he
which
does.
Every time he asks me, I'm like,
Where's
no
Sealy
chance.
when you need him?
Breakfast
Dude,
shots are good,
So,
but
so-
they're not
But
pure
that's
liquor.
more of a chaser shot, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's the Svedka Clementine vodka mixed with the tropical Red Bull, and I'm telling you, if you can mix those two, that is the greatest shot
delicious.
you've ever taken. It tastes like Saturday morning and feels like Saturday night.
That's a
Well,
great
and you're
description.
cutting a liquor shot, so
Put
it's not
that
a
on
full.
a bumper sticker right there.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's amazing. That shot.
It's a panty dropper.
It's a dick limper and a panty dropper. It's an interesting
Unfortunate
equation.
situation.
Yeah.
That's not
Everybody's
what you want.
Everybody's
It's not
going to
the-
be
It's a bad
disappointed,
combination.
but look
Bad
where we are.
We're both naked.
You know?
Everybody's passing out.
And look, all I know is it's a lot of fun.
Some people disappointed.
So some more than others. Panty dropper's like, ooh, dodged a bullet.
A literal bullet.
Speaking of bullet, not making it to the next round.
Come on.
It's not.
Heartbreaking.
Hey,
I
these
love
are
the
facts,
bullet,
and we got
but-
5 people here, so it's. I mean,
No, that's
this
a
is
chorus.
Yeah.
Like I'm not upset.
Yeah.
My drink lost, but
Yeah.
that's not how quorums work.
Hey, Lee, this
No,
is
you didn't pick bullet.
statistically significant.
No, what I'm saying, my winner didn't make it up. You know what I mean?
I would have picked
love
bullet.
No
if
one
I
had.
picked those
Hold on, who
three,
picked?
too.
Who picked
Russell's.
Russell's
Who's a
number
Russell?
one?
Who's a Russell guy? Raise your hand. Who had a number one Russell?
Oh, like tonight?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Mike
yeah.
and the Duke had number one.
The handsome fellas in the.
Everybody else had
The
number two.
bald
Yeah, it's the two motherfucking bald dudes. Yeah.
Everybody else had it number two,
Right.
though. Everybody
Right.
else had number two.
Yeah, you know
It's
what
a
tastes
lot
great
of
when you're
fucking- lot of
bald?
wisdom.
Russell.
Lot of hating. Lot of hating.
Do you
want to
be bald? Drink Russell.
You know what you guys need to get? Because you guys like the
More
bald.
sexy?
No,
It's not possible.
yeah, no, because you bald guys are used to just that dome look. Is the no brim hat?
Oh yeah, that's what everybody needs.
No, you seen the no brim hat, right? Jordan?
Yes, it's the dumbest hat I've ever seen in my
No,
entire
this
life.
is the hot shit right now.
No.
This is the hot shit.
No.
Is it astringent?
Have you seen? Dude, this is a hat with no brim, and
That's the perfect.
first off, everyone who wears hats knows the worst. The
Is
worst.
this Wesley Snipes when White Man Can't Jump?
Dude, yeah, no.
His was like a little stub brim though.
Yeah.
No, this is somewhere in between a toque and a yarmulke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no
A beanie.
yeah,
Yeah.
beanie to all y'all.
Toboggan.
So-
Toboggan, whatever. Okay, I
If you
got
wear
it. Toque to
if
beanie.
you wear hats, you know the worst hat ever is the one with the metal clasp in the back with the
If you wear
cloth
hats,
strap.
You
Like,
know how hats are made. There's a top and there's a brim.
Yeah.
So
all hats have some kind of a rim or brim.
Except
Yeah.
for these.
This
Except
is
for toques.
yes.
I don't think these are hats.
What,
but
who,
sure,
calls
they're
it
not
a,
hats.
who calls anything a toque?
Well, Brendan calls it.
Well,
a
I don't know what the fuck a toque is.
He's a
Toque's
Chicagoans.
a skull cap.
Toboggan, a woolly.
I think you're
You
just
know,
making
people
a
who
grew up in
vocabulary now.
Arizona,
Like,
Chicago,
making them-
Detroit.
You know what you pull on
Cincinnati.
over your head when it's ice
Toboggan.
cold over your ears? It's like a winter hat.
Toboggan.
Yeah.
Winter hat with no brim.
Scully or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toboggan or
Okay,
something.
that's
He
a
calls
toque.
them toques.
That's a toque.
It's a Chicago thing.
It's a
Okay.
it's a
It's a
Phoenix thing.
Canadian thing. Chicago's just Canada south.
For
What
a
do they
ball
call-
guy, the
oh.
derby hat's a great look.
What do they call
Derby
them in
hats are
Arizona?
Okay, but so
We don't have them.
In
Sorry,
DC.
sir. Go look.
okay, but
north.
hold on. This is my whole point. The brim of a hat is designed to keep shade on your face.
Yes.
So that you're not blinded by the sun.
Yeah.
Now, when you're out in the winter environment, it's more about warmth than sun shielding.
Yeah, but
It's a
you
different-
also, if you want to keep your head warm, a hat isn't what you wear. You would wear what you would call a toque or a skull
Yes.
cap. Or
And in the
a
dead of
woolly.
summer, I wear the big giant floppy
a
hat.
sun hat. Yeah.
So what is this? What is this company that you had discovered?
No
Troy?
Brim Co. is the website. It's the dumbest looking hat I've
So
ever
they're
seen.
literally pushing hats. and
Okay,
it's
so
a,
we're on
it's
the
a
same page.
base.
We
Yes.
hate these people.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah. No, so it's a baseball
cotton
hat
hat.
that
Brendan
doesn't
has 4 of them.
that doesn't have a brim.
Yeah.
And when Troy sent this to me, I go, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of." Then I went to the website
And
Sick marketing.
and I started thinking.
And they got a cross collab with Solo Stoves. And I'm
the
feel
funny
the
thing
heat.
is, they wear the stupid thing. I'm air quoting backwards here because there's no brim, there's no front or back,
Yeah.
but it's like got the big flappy cloth thing in the front.
yeah, so it's the
like,
clasp and the part that you tighten to adjust your hat size,
Yeah,
and so it's
not
got,
the trucker style plastic one or
yeah.
not
This
the
is not a
fitted
this
hat.
is not a
brass
fitted
buckle.
cap. It's
Yeah.
it's the brass buckle with the
Did you
pull
see it, dude?
through. The pull through like fabric
Yeah.
that you pull
Yeah.
through, and then
The
you-
worst, by far.
Yeah,
the
it's the-
worst.
definitely.
If you pick
Enclosure
that hat
there
up,
is.
you go, I don't like that
Yeah.
hat.
No. But
I'd be
that
so
is the
angry.
hat that if you go to Martha's
This
Vineyard,
hat
you're
is
like,
also
oh, I should get
7
that. Hat.
pounds.
it's an
like-
Abercrombie and Fitch hat that they have taken the
Yes.
brim off.
This is the hat that you either get at Old Navy
Yeah,
or when you're in Martha's Vineyard,
Yeah.
because it's either bougie
It's full on.
or it's cheap. But it's it's
Yeah.
it's
It's
the
100
brass
pounds.
clasp and you pull it.
Yeah.
But so then it has no brim, so people are wearing these. They look like a stupid ass beanie. But then I went
Yeah.
to the website and I see people they're folding up what we would consider the part of the hat that
it comes that way. It's folded up.
shut
He's
the
buying
front
into
door.
He's buying into this BS.
No,
No,
he
no.
wants one.
No.
or
So
two.
here's what I
Oh, here we go.
the quote unquote front is rolled up, so it looks like a beanie.
but so when people are wearing them backwards,
Air quotes backwards.
so you know how when you'd wear a normal hat, so the brim keeps the sun off your neck.
Yeah,
So like when you're playing golf, you play the first 9 with it forward
and then when
to
you're
keep
hammered,
the sun off your face, and then you turn it around to keep the sun off your neck. Or if you're fishing for a couple hours, you wait 3 hours,
Yeah.
then you turn it around to keep the sun off your neck. See, that's what the brim's for. But This is just to get the backwards hat look without ruining your head flexibility.
Yeah.
So
Without
you
bumping the brim into
you can
something.
tilt your head back and not have it nudge
Except
into
you
your
got the
neck.
stupid cloth flappy thing on it.
So it's super cool, right? We're all in agreement?
Yeah.
No, I think we burned too many calories on this guy. Let's move on, kids.
So you don't like the hat.
They've only got 13 IG posts, so I'm
I
out.
don't. Fucking,
They have 13 Instagram posts?
That's it.
I don't
I'm
get
out.
I don't get the point.
No, I don't either.
No one
I'm just
gets the
trying to
point.
defend what their
Well,
logic is.
But why?
There is no logic.
No, I can't find it. I'm just trying to defend that.
They
Have
look
you
like
been in
beanies.
correspondence
they look like
with
beanies.
Yeah, that dude looks cool as shit. You see, you show me a giant Samoan dude, and I'm like,
Yeah.
jackpot. Like, I'm all in. No, that dude sucks. Yeah, there's my guy. That dude's like
the
Troy
best
Polamalu's
pictures.
fat
The best
brother.
pictures are where you can't tell it's not a hat. with a hat.
It looks like a
It
normal
looks
hat.
like
Yeah.
a fucking
Okay,
beanie.
the more and more you guys show it to me, this is the worst idea ever. I wanted to defend it.
They're
for good
running a
pod.
buy one get one free or something.
Yeah,
like
because
that.
they can't get rid of them.
Wait, what?
So Brennan can get one of
Do
everything.
you remember
Dude,
on
the quote.
site?
So the comments on Facebook were like, "Does it come with a propeller on top?"
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
right. So where did you find this?
It showed up on my Facebook page for some reason.
Oh, good for them. Because you know what? If you push enough on Facebook, enough assholes will buy it.
Oh yeah, for
There's
sure.
a product manager somewhere going, this didn't go as I expected.
I mean, that thing's brutal. Like, the whole point of a hat is the brim. Cowboy hats
It's-
have brims
yeah.
designed to cover your back,
Look,
your neck,
every
and your face.
good hat has a brim. I mean, that's just fact.
Yes. Unless it's for religious purposes or something, like there's.
But that's not a
there's-
hat.
No, I know. It's just to cover the top
Yeah.
of the head.
So-
this doesn't serve much of a purpose.
So I have a brilliant product idea.
Oh,
All right, here we
is
go.
it Brims for the brimless hats. 'Cause we could sell 1,000. We just need to get
An
their mailing
add-on.
list.
Yeah.
Hey, we got visors you can put on your.
Let me introduce you to the Richardson 112.
Yeah.
Yes, the perfect hat.
No. So before we started, we got into a whole conversation about what we were watching on Netflix or
Yeah.
other streaming services. I had this theory that this is the only organic conversation that people actually have, because your kid has a birthday, you post it on Facebook, and you see your neighbor, and they're like, "Oh, it's always your kid's birthday," and you tell them about it, and they're like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, I was there.
I know. I saw the pictures or whatever. I saw your comments, whatever. So what?
I also think Facebook killed like high school reunions.
Hold on.
It's
so
like,
what's
I don't
the,
need to see.
So you're saying
anymore.
the podcast is the only organic conversation you've had? I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this.
That's part of it. Yeah, for sure. But what I was saying was,
He's not. He's like, shut up, dude. I'm telling a story.
He's
but,
right.
But what
You suck.
what I've often seen is the conversations that are sort of fresh and new to people. Like when we gather here, is they often talk about like, I'm watching this on Netflix, or I'm watching this on Amazon, or what this series.
Hulu, whatever. Yeah.
This
Things that have
series-
been pushed to us. let's
right,
be
this
honest.
series or whatever. So what I think is actually missing is, and I think this is actually highway robbery over actual social interaction, but we've stolen all the rest of it. So
Why not?
like,
Yeah,
Let's
not
keep it
rolling.
going.
Let's not steal it. Let's keep stealing this. It's like, if you imagine going to Netflix and being like, "Hey, Troy's watching this. Troy and his wife are watching this." You'd probably be like, "Oh, well, let me check out, because next time I see them, we can talk about it or whatever." Like,
As opposed to like them having to reach out and tell you.
You want Netflix
They're
to
saying
be
like, because they already
Facebook
have that info.
Right. So
they already
they
have that info.
they have the info. The not to get super technical, it's like they're never gonna make those APIs public and publish
Yeah.
all that data. But like,
Actually, no. So this kind of, you're entering into kind of my universe. So we do have that info because you have an email address tied to your Netflix, tied to your Facebook, tied to everything.
oh, it's 100% possible.
So every one of those apps, whether it be Netflix or Facebook or whatever, when you agree to their terms and conditions, they're sharing back the information about your email address.
Right.
So we can actually tie together all of those accounts. So we could share that information very easily and say, Troy is watching X on Hulu
Agreed.
and Netflix.
Agreed.
And,
There's a data privacy issue that you got to work through there, but like the
well, terms and conditions, I accept, and it's done.
100%, it's not even hard to do, right?
Yes.
But like, I think it would be great to say like, let me pull in your Facebook friends, let me pull in your Netflix account and know what you're watching, and so I'm like, oh, hey, our good friends Brendan and his wife are watching this series. Like, I was looking for a new series to watch.
I think I got
what you're
talking
talking
about. We're creating like the book club of the future, where I agree to go. Let's get into. I want to be in your streaming club.
I want to know what
and
my
now,
friends are watching.
Yeah.
So
So
we can
now
talk about it.
I'm going to openly accept that
Stream
I see stream book. Boom, dude, lock it up. Lock
Stream
it up.
book.
Trademarked.
Let's
Trademarked.
Stop the
right
conversation
now.
right now.
Trademarked
Get our attorneys
right
on
now.
the phone.
Yeah. No, because that actually makes sense. So if I go, I want to opt into this 50 people's things.
Yeah.
Now I can see what they're watching.
Yeah.
And then so if something bubbles to the top, this way I don't have to watch Squid Game because the rest of the country's watching it. I'd rather watch Dope Sick because all my friends are watching it.
Right.
It's
like,
personalized recommendations.
more personalized, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I think one of the
Shit,
best.
this
one
is
of the-
already. Oh, we can buy it. How much?
I
How much is
have.
Streambook?
I have.
So
a,
there is an app that exists that actually does this, but it is pretty third party as it compares to like being embedded in Netflix or Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
So that is the catch, right? Is I think if it's in so Netflix does this today, like they give you a top 10, which I think has been a revolutionary sort of AI experience that they've delivered,
Oh yeah.
right? To say like, here's the top 10 in the country, and you'd be like, cool.
Yeah, they give you like a what's a trending.
Honestly, I look at those top 10 trendings before I scroll down because I'm like, because if I see something that literally anybody I know has mentioned in reality world,
Right.
then I go, oh, I'll just watch that.
Right.
Yeah,
But what
I mean,
if
I
they
have
took all
this-
that work out?
I have this
Yeah,
co-
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I have this conversation with my college buddies. It's like I watched Midnight Mass because it was recommended. I watched Squid Games because it was recommended. It's like, and I'm telling other people, watch this, watch that. Like, it's definitely data like that. I would feel valuable, like just because my Netflix tells me it matches. That's cool, but if I knew all you guys already watched, I'd be like, well, shit, I'm definitely in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you were not too far away from Netflix just being like, oh, everybody's watching the shit that we produce.
Yeah.
No, but it's
Right.
true. If we could,
Well,
if we could,
Netflix is so Netflix heavy right at this.
Yeah.
but if we
point,
could
like,
share friends, I would rather watch what the 10 people I give a shit.
Yeah.
so
are
you've
watching.
got something to talk about.
Like
it's
say I'm
absolutely-
going to
yeah.
go out to dinner with this couple. Be like, what the hell are they watching? It actually
Yeah.
streamlines the conversation
Yeah.
because
It
I
gets it
don't
get-
give a shit about their
So it's
kids
not so
or their
much like,
dog.
oh, I've been meaning to watch that.
Yeah,
like,
it's a data privacy thing though that gets a little.
But
weird.
if you accept in, oh man,
I agree, but
So
people will
much
get
stuff.
weird to be like because.
You'd be
I've been
surprised how
watching a
many people
shit
don't
ton of
get
porn,
weird.
and I don't want people to know about it. Right? Like that.
shit.
What-
You know
what is
what?
weird?
Most technology start like the whole reason like VHS beat out Betamax was because porn was the first one to adopt it.
Yeah.
Like, and when the internet really started to move, it was because people started sharing boobies, and people were like, I do have to get that. And then they started watching. Like, porn tends to actually lead the charge on this kind of stuff when it comes to ingenuity. And like, we're gonna get robots that fuck before we get robots that serve you breakfast. That's a fact. Like, that's just how
That's how the world works.
No, that's how
Yeah.
technology works. Like, we're driven, unfortunately, by our primal urges, not by our brain. So probably the easiest place to pitch this would be on Pornhub, right? Where you could be like, oh, cool, Troy's beating off to this. Like,
yeah, I think.
I know I'm taking it a step
Yeah.
further, but this will be where that
Are you asking?
Just ask Troy about
actually.
that stuff.
Hold on. Yes, Troy. What are you beating off to these days?
It's this new thing I found called pornography.
You didn't help us.
Oh, I thought you didn't know.
Category top.
I'm not giving you my categories.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's weird. It's weird.
Definitely weird.
Pregnant midgets. That's all he loves. Okay. That's
but
cool.
but
Graham.
I
They
think
look so much more pregnant.
You totally missed my joke.
I heard it.
Oh, great.
I think the struggle that you have is like the big tech firms have to essentially acquire your service because you can't monetize it otherwise, right?
And they also have to have people that continue to fund them too. Like you've got those board of trustees and everything else that have to be willing to put the money behind it.
They are
you had
always
the same
willing.
issue with OnlyFans when they were like, yeah, we're gonna pull all the pornographic content, all the new
And how quickly
content.
did that ship back? What, 3
Exactly,
days?
Exactly.
3 days?
Because they realized that like this is the content we've created and how we've made our money.
Unfortunately, that is the
without it.
reality of the situation.
Well-
It's driven by primal urges, the id,
Well,
if you will.
I think what Lee was, Abacus Lee, whatever his name is now.
One and the same.
Abacus.
He answers
I-
to both.
Yeah. People have a lot
Idiot.
of core values until the money stops rolling.
Oh,
in,
absolutely.
And then
Exactly.
they're like, well,
And they say
you
like,
know,
well,
it's
hey, we're not
bad.
going to make the same amount of money without this type of service.
Right.
We can't not have that.
Right.
That's unfortunately what steers the ship more often than not.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to what I was saying is
Anyway.
well, no, I just find myself in so many
Anyway, you guys are ruining the story.
Walt's right in that.
the conversations that I almost exclusively have that like are icebreakers are around like what we're watching from a series standpoint. Like just go through a week and count how many times that.
Yeah, I can't-
That is
Oh,
the-
yeah.
I can't tell how many times at the
Do you-
office it's just like, oh, did you watch this? No, I haven't seen that yet. Oh, well, you got to watch it.
Do you
Right.
think streaming beats weather for small talk? Are we there
Yeah,
yet?
I
Have
think-
we crossed
should.
the,
I think
have
weather's
we
the
crossed the
fucking
threshold?
worst.
I think the early days of smartphones, probably weather was still top notch.
Okay, so here's my take.
Weather's
If
the
you
worst.
don't really know somebody, so say I'm on a WebEx with people from Sheboygan, like I don't really know them.
Yeah, but
Fuck
that's a
Wisconsin.
weather's a long
Respect.
way. I mean, that's a good
No, what I'm saying.
ti-
So
like,
weather like is truly like the
Sheboygan in Wisconsin.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Oh yeah, oh
I
yeah.
thought it was in Chicago.
I may not know
No.
math, but I know geography, bro.
But I'm not going to argue with you.
You don't
It is
know
Wisconsin.
adverbs. I know. I heard that.
That too.
Yeah, it's the LY, but that's neither here nor there. Which literally came up with my 5th grader just the other day.
I'll tutor her.
I should somebody better because she's going to fail. This is a guy that literally got like 2 questions wrong in the English SATs, and 5th grade is fucking me. I'm like, what's happening? But that's neither here. I'm just
That
saying.
was 1,500 brain cells ago.
Yeah, that's starting to
your
be a
brain's-
fact.
You fail English? That's impossible.
No, that's just me, bro.
So I'm just wondering though, at what point because I do think small talk always like across great divides where you don't know them will lend itself to weather.
Yeah, well,
But
distance
small talk
makes-
amongst acquaintances
it's
is
dumb.
dominated
Yeah.
by streaming now more than weather.
Well,
I think
as it
you may
should be. If you're in the same climate zone, you shouldn't talk about the weather. If you're 3, time zones over, it's like, hey, what's the weather there? That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Acquaintances
Yeah.
are probably gonna.
Your day-to-day conversations are very much more.
I never
hey,
thought
how did
about
you
that.
I
spend
mean, my
your
dad lives
night
in
last
South
night?
Carolina. He calls me and tells me what the weather is here. Because he's got nothing to say.
What the fuck?
He's like, oh, hey, you getting rain there? I'm like, yeah.
Sure
yeah,
enough.
Yeah.
You
it's
just
raining here.
unearthed a lot of things
Yeah.
over there in your
Yeah, Dad.
relationship with your
My
dad.
father-in-law was sending me
Yeah.
and my wife a text, be like, "Big storm coming your way."
Yep.
I'm like, I know, I have weather too.
But he's
Safe
never
box.
like
Sit.
pregnant midget porn's hot right now.
Says it's going to be 86 here tomorrow. Yeah, Dad, that's what my phone told me too. Yep.
Did you happen to catch it in Celsius?
Is the older people in your family think they're weather experts because they have a phone?
No, they just don't know how to converse. They just don't know what to talk about. They're just like, we just talk and it's like, so how's the weather there? It's like, well, I mean, I have kids and I have a life. But
Well,
yeah, we can talk about the weather.
No, my father-in-law will like break out his phone and be like, "See this front moving through here?" And
Yeah.
like he'll
He's
give
drawing
me
diagrams.
he'll be like, "I got it all figured out." I'm like, "Dude, I got the same app."
Exactly, yeah.
Andrew Friesen told me what's happening for the next 6
And by the way,
days.
that app doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Like,
But he doesn't trust GPS. Like Waze, fucking forget about it.
He's like,
God
do you
forbid.
want, do you
big
want this app
government
to
spying on me.
He'd be like, "You want to take 33?" And then we go,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I don't know, dude. I just Waze it." And he's
Yeah.
like,
You trust that
Yeah,
computer to tell you where to
yeah.
go?
Speaking of
Okay.
which, this is a little random, but the other day I was using the Google Maps app, you know,
right?
and so I'm driving down 95. Traffic literally just goes to shit. Like my Google app goes, "You're hosed." You know, everything goes red. It's like you're screwed. And then it's like, "You need to take a right now." And I'm like, "You mean the exit ramp to my right that I
Yeah.
can't get to and I'm 3 lanes over?" And it's like, "You need to do it." And then like I saw a break, and so I shot across,
that
like
person.
cut a little. Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm looking ahead. It goes,
Because
"This
Google
is."
told me.
It was like, this is a 12-mile issue. So I darted across, and I come up, and then literally, like, I'm sitting in the line with all the other schmucks using Waze, right?
Yeah.
And then Google
Idiot.
goes, "You should take a left." And I was like, that's weird. So like I broke left, and you saw like 4 cars break left, and I was starting to see like the difference in AI between the true overlord and like Waze, the pissant overlord. Like I would never be a Crip when there's bloods. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I mean never be a blood when there's Crips. Or whatever's prevalent in this town.
Brendan is
Careful.
Brendan's so funny because like if Yeti's the thing, he's in. If Solo So's the thing, he's in. But if Waze is the thing, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm
going out.
It's too mainstream.
No,
bro.
but here's the Google literally just takes all of its information, regardless of if you're using Waze, if you're using, it just looks at all their phones and goes, we have a problem here. They're doing this. They're outsourcing the larger, crowdsourcing the information, right? So everyone who's using Waze is going this way, and all of a sudden my Google app's like, turn left now. Like, and it hadn't been saying turn left a second ago, but it's like turn left now. And I was like, okay, so I turn left. I see 4 cars break off from the chain. Now it's the 4 of us going down this road. So we start coming into this like little ass town, and then it's like, you need to go right. 2 cars broke off this way. 2 cars broke off this way. Now all of a sudden I'm on this little like dirt road. I'm going under this tunnel. I'm like,
Sounds
what the
safe.
fuck is happening? But all of a sudden I pop out. I didn't hit any traffic, and I got home in no time.
And now you don't have a family.
Yes.
Totally worth it.
Yeah, and Google's like, he's not going to be home for 40 minutes. No, but it's just like, it's very interesting to see how technology, like, when the greater is using one, but when the greater good's information is being sourced to one, it makes a noticeable difference.
Especially with traffic. There was an article recently about a guy who literally just walked behind with a cart with 20, 30 phones.
Oh, that'll cause a traffic jam.
Yeah.
And he's walking
He
down
drug
the
it
street
down
of
the
whatever
bridge
city.
or something, yeah.
Slow as can
and
be.
It's like, here's a traffic jam. There's 40 people here. They can't move forward. And it's so interesting to think about how quickly our systems can dissolve and fall apart by the most basic thing.
By an asshole with 20 phones in a wagon. Thank you.
No, but that's
Exactly.
very true because
Yeah.
they're crowdsourcing information.
Yeah.
So if there's
Well-
20 data points that say it's going 1 mile an hour, then that's a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Because the 10 data points that were going 10
I get
miles
it
an hour
every
don't
single
matter.
morning on my drive to work. I know exactly how long it takes. I know exactly what time I need to leave and exactly what time I'm going to show up. But it will still show up a little red spot because people happen to be sitting at a stoplight a moment longer than they normally do.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But I was shocked to see, you could literally see the peel off in the people that had my app versus the other apps. And so you almost want to be on the app that's crowdsourcing the most information, but the least people are using. So like iPhones, 50% of the population has an iPhone. Everyone else has Android, and they're using all different kinds of things. The Apple people probably use Apple. So you don't want to be in that crowd. It's very interesting.
Well, we went to the Dave Matthews concert at Virginia Beach, and like we were.
I was there. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Good
It was
times.
good show. We
Ended with a Watchtower, which I did not expect because they hadn't played that as an encore in a while.
Love
It was my first Dave show, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a good one to be my first one.
Dude, you caught a good Dave show.
I did.
Watchtower's
I did.
overrated.
It was hot as
They played some-
Hold on.
it was. I wish I would have known you were there.
Yeah, dude, that was a great show.
Great show.
Sorry, I don't mean to digress.
Totally
And
unrelated, but we were on Waze and we got freaking clustered.
Just hosed
Well, the
them
problem,
around.
the problem
around
with
there, right.
the problem with Virginia Beach Amphitheater, it's the worst. Like, there's no good way in and out. Like, you can't.
FedEx is the worst, but for pretty much any crowded event, FedEx feels the worst. But the
But you just went to Virginia Beach.
But
how,
Virginia
how
Beach
enjoyable was
Amphitheater
that?
only has one way in and out as far as a main artery, and that creates a butt plug.
well, what happened was Waze tried to.
Is that the technical term?
That's what you
Wedged
always
at
say.
one end?
brown? I think it's called a brown note.
Call back to last week.
Waze tried to help us, and they did not help us. And I think there's something that goes.
Sometimes
goes
you're
away
too far
saying.
gone
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah. Well, the you know, I did some modeling in a previous career, and like the there's like consumer anomalies that will just throw that shit, like the guy with a golf, you know, like a.
But
a
that's how
bike with
easy
30
when
phones.
we're completely reliant on technology though. There's actually very simple, if you can put enough technology in a basket,
Yeah. Literally, like the most
it's the same-
lowbrow, effective ways to like ruin a system. And
It's the same thing
so
with
crazy.
It's the same thing with ad fraud. You can create like in the digital space. Like we have to worry about if somebody has a garage with 500 phones, they can sit there and just set them up, and they will just harvest ad impressions all day, and that'll steal billions of dollars over time. If they just have a website that they're like, all these people have fit this straight, and then it all just goes to that one website, then that website gets traffic. It's a bullshit website. It's very easy.
Yeah, hackers like fucking shit up. That's the problem.
Well, they're always ahead of it, because what happens is people who are combating fraud are always chasing the hackers, not the other way around. It's a problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're getting into my world a little bit.
People are the worst.
Nah, they're cool.
Well, most of those algorithms work on historical data, so if you just break that, right, like then they get the model gets broken, and
It's
then,
like short-term trends almost.
Mm-hmm. We used to forecast inventory for gift cards, and they'd be like, Mike, what the fuck happened? Like, you had 50 gift cards and 60 were redeemed. Like, we don't have the inventory for that. And you jumped into safety stock or whatever. And we were like, yeah, because one guy decided to redeem 100 gift cards.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can't predict that guy's behavior.
No.
Right? Like,
The whole gift card thing's hilarious anyway, because it's like they're hoping you buy it, gift it, and it never
And
gets
don't
used.
use it,
Like
yeah.
that's
Dude, gift cards are
that's
a
it.
racket.
It's their
there's a 20% breakage. Back when I used to do it, which is many, many years ago, there's a 20% breakage. So if you brought $100 worth of gift cards, statistically speaking, you would only use $80 worth of it. So
So that makes sense, because I would say that if given on like Christmas I get a bunch of gift cards, I would say 20% of them I don't even know where they are after after you like
I was
bring
gonna say,
everything
I mean,
together.
the fact is, if you get a gift card, you use 100% of it. But the anomaly is, some people don't use any percent of it. So it's like it's
because
it's
a gift card is dead to me when it's under $5.
It's not real. It's not real money.
But you know what I'm saying? Like now it's a hassle.
Oh, I get $100 gift card. I'm like, I throw it. I literally have a container with a bunch of gift cards, and like, I forget. I throw them in there, and then I forget all about them. You're pulling your container out.
No. Here's the fucked up thing. People will literally throw gift cards in my tip jar.
Yeah, you get a Wawa gift card.
Yeah, I just literally reached in the tip jar in the pallet house. There's a gift card. People will throw gift cards.
Yeah, but those
in
have
there.
like 89 cents on them.
Yeah, no, but that's the 20%, right?
No, but my thing is, even if I get $100 one, I will throw it into the container and forget that I even have it.
I found I have this little like Ziploc bag that's like preserved forever in my desk. And I was looking through it the other day, and it's like a Total Wine with $1, Sears, which is gone, the Kmart done.
Yeah,
you know, it's like rando gift cards with like $1 left, because I use them to a point, and then I'm like, oh, and I just throw it in there. There's probably $500 worth of stuff in there, but I'd have to spend $1 at TJ Maxx, $1
I
at
think there's a
Boot Barn.
website that you can actually trade and like consolidate and stuff.
My dad, who calls about the weather, will buy me a gift card for
the weather?
a restaurant group that's in South Carolina, and I'm like,
Dude,
this is great.
I won a Farm Fresh gift card in a raffle like a couple years ago, and I was like, I don't even know where there's Farm Fresh. But like, I have $50 worth of groceries just waiting for me. If I find a Farm Fresh,
you're on it.
You're about to get the sickest broccoli ever.
Yeah, no, like I cannot wait. But
if I relocate, I'm set.
Yeah. No, what am I gonna do? It's gift cards are a beautiful racket.
First world problem.
Too many gift cards.
Yeah,
you should have gave a gift card to that guy at the food line or whatever.
Dude, he would have been so pissed.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, he would have been
Bro, I'm
mad.
trying to buy Wi-Fi. What can I
Verizon gift card.
Yeah.
Hope you have Comcast.
This is called a gift card. You don't have access to it because you don't have Wi-Fi. But here's one of them.
We're good. We've given too much content to these
well,
people.
then cut these fools off.
That's what I was just saying. I just looked down. And I was like, hey, we're done here.
Call it a day.
This party's beat.
Did we get to all the topics?
Dude,
We never get through all the
Banked 'em.
topics.
here's the topic. So
was sarcasm.
we got the Abacus's Fukushima terror pigs.
I've been on it for months.
We will literally never talk about. I'm desperately trying to talk about the new Hooters outfits.
As Katie Nolan says, look it up.
Speaking of more Abacus sending in pig stuff, there's a kidney transplant.
Look it up.
Yep.
Google that shit.
I got a hot dog thing that I'm dying to talk about.
Yeah, you do.
Just important.
That's your Chicago coming out.
Electric bikes. There's a whole.
That's a cool one.
I agree. There's a whole thing about electric bikes, and I have a counterpoint.
Let's do a triple.
We should
run it back.
We got surtaxes because of all this stuff going on. We got so much going on. and then here's a teaser that will come up next episode. The top 10 reckless drivers, what cars they drive, and it kind of mirrors the DUI top 10 that we did years ago, except for one anomaly, which is super exciting for me. We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
That's called a tease. That's called.
Is that
a tease.
what that's called?
Yeah.
check you out next
Radio
week.
professional.
If you haven't had a chance, head over to m4k.org. Sign up for our team. Or m4krichmond.org.
There you go.
Yep.
Sorry,
Now you got it.
forgot where we were.
You'll find it.
m4krichmond.org. It's surprising that I even got M4K out because my feet are numb. But you can also head over to send an email to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, and we'd be glad to sign you up for our team or any other team because, let's be honest, this is the season for giving and this is the season for helping out. And if you have an opportunity to do both, well, you could do so easily by growing a mustache, joining in on what I think is the best fraternity going right now.
Join our team. We're gonna have a M4. We're gonna have a Pallet House M4K night up in here.
You know what's funny? If you're a listener who hasn't had a chance to really engage with us, we will midway through kind of the growing season.
Yeah.
We do want to host an event here, get people over here,
You
keep
can
them excited.
Come to the Pallet House.
Boy, there's a prize.
Yes.
What's the cover?
The cover is join the team.
Sweet mustache.
Join the team and donate $20.
Sweet mustache.
The cover is pay the cover charge to get into the team, which I think the M4K, what is it, $20 right now to join?
25 maybe.
God
20.
damn it, questions.
$20. Register yourself.
Abacus says
get your
20,
website signed
and
up.
he's never been wrong.
Yeah, when it comes to numbers, Abacus is the guy.
You got to trust.
There's a 20%
It's
plus
in
or
the
minus.
$20 to
Yeah.
$100 range.
It's clearly 20.
For the record, I've signed up for 20 every year.
Yeah, I was about to say, boy.
It's 20.
It's
$20.
$20. Let's not scare them off. Between 20 and 10,000. No, it's literally 20.
And you will get $50 worth of dope swag.
That's the truth, right? For
I mean,
$20.
The hat itself is a $30 hat. Like, it's a crazy awesome hat. Then you
That's
get the
a fact.
T-shirts, the cups, the koozies, all the stuff.
And then you get the team.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a
Community.
certain priceless amount of being part of M4K.
I'm going for the selfishness of everyone.
I want the swag.
And then
I'm not even
once
mad,
I get
Troy.
them hooked on the selfishness, then I got them hooked, and
Yeah.
then we're going to the giving part.
Reel that, baby.
Yep.
That's exactly
sense.
right. But no, you should reach out, either go m4krichmond.org or reach out to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up. If you want to be a part of our team, we'll walk you through that process.
For sure.
It's seriously, it's pretty painless, and everything you're going to get from it is nothing but feeling good and doing good, and then a fraternity that I don't even know how to describe it. It's awesome.
And the cool brand with a coat hanger. Wait, what? Are we going to start that this year?
I don't know what we're talking about. But Troy, I do want to talk about
Troy
this.
lost me somewhere.
Troy, I want to talk about this after hours. Challenge coins for our team.
Oh, yeah.
I do
like
want to
that.
talk about that, and I want to get that going. That's a thing.
I'll work on that.
Yes. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We certainly do appreciate the support. If you haven't had a chance to rate and review, please do so at wherever you get your podcast from, whatever platform it is. Rate and review. If you haven't had a chance to send us topics, you can do so at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. And you can always find us on Twitter and Instagram at ITPH Podcast. We don't put a whole lot out there, but maybe that's because you're not engaging enough. Just saying. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
Oh, what? Did Mike just do a stew?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was rad. Oh, I'm old. I said rad.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
money for kids.
It's a win-win. Win-win.
Fucking stoked for this year. A milli. $750? A milli? Dude, can you Can you wait till we get to a milli?
I like your attitude, Abacus.